did my honors degree University of the Free State and my master's at University of the Free State. Then I had an opportunity of going to India to study something called sustainable agriculture and rural development. I'm a very learned somebody. But we need funding from the government. We really need funding. We've got skills.
Yes, yes.
If you audit my skill, I can give you certificates.
Yes. Then
give me funding to expand these things so that I can employ young people.
That's
maybe
great.
Train. But my other future goal is to be a consultant, to open my own mini college, agri-college, where I'm going to train, an accredited college.
Yes. Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Ndaba. If it's your first time here, we are talking about everything entrepreneurship, financial education, running your own business, as well as agriculture or farming. So as you already know, I'm not in Johannesburg, but I'm in the Eastern Cape, the home of legends. So if it's your first time here, please consider subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. The channel, guys, is growing. Yes, and I can see that you are enjoying this content. Yeah. So today I'm here in the area called Kukwala. It's a village in Tata. Yeah, and I'm not alone. As you can see, I'm with Mr. Andile Ndaba. He's going to tell us about his farming journey. As you can see in my background, we are inside a chicken structure where he's doing chicken production. Yeah, so he's doing a number of things. He's in the mixed farming, that is, he's doing animal production as well as the crop production. He also has another farm apart from this one, which is just in a village in Ndaba. He's going to tell us about that 10-hectare farm and tell us about what he is producing there. Mr. Andile, welcome to our YouTube channel. Thank you for allowing us to come and have this interview with you. It's greatly appreciated. So can you please introduce yourself, tell us who is Mr. Andile, what are you doing, and just tell us briefly about all the activities that you are doing.
Yeah, my name is Andile Ndaba. And I was born and bred in Ndaba.
Yes. Okay.
I schooled in a school called Maize Junior Secondary School. Then I went to study at the Agriculture Nelson Mandela University. It was P technical graduating to be Nelson Mandela University. Then I went and I did my honors degree University of the Free State and my master's at University of the Free State. Then I had an opportunity of going to India to study something called sustainable agriculture and rural development. I'm a very learned somebody. I've got a company called True Farms. It's Agri True Farms. I run a crop production farm. It's a mixed farm because I'm doing chickens. I've got 10 hectares in Ndaba. In this land here where we are talking.
Yes.
So I'm producing chickens here in Ndaba. I'm producing your vegetables such as cabbage, spinach, and grain production, maize production. I've got 10 hectares under irrigation. I've installed irrigation in Ndaba. It's a pity we cannot go there.
Okay.
So that's all I do, my brother.
That's great. That's great. You know, I always say this, that I'm inspired when I meet young people who are at the forefront and championing these the farming. You know, it also invites other young people out there to really consider coming into the space. So you are doing a number of things. I hear that you are doing chickens. You also have the crops that you are doing there. So I want to ask you, what motivates you, and what sort of inspires you and makes you wake up in the morning to say that I want to do this, I want to be in the farm?
To me, it's love for farming, it's love for agriculture.
Yes.
I'm a trained agriculturalist. I'm a graduate in agriculture. So that forces me to practice agriculture.
Yes.
You can't be theorizing and saying you must do. We need to see.
Yes.
So it's what inspires me. I love farming. That's my calling. It excites me. I love farming. I was watching Al Jazeera.
Yes.
When I had about 22 million people in Afghanistan, they were without food. I froze. 22 million people in Afghanistan. There's no food, but there's land. In the Eastern Cape here, we don't use land. There's too much land.
That's true.
I just want to encourage young people to wake up and go and do farming.
Yes.
Sometimes I go to high schools and motivate young people. Say, guys, let's go.
Think about
let's do agriculture.
Yes.
This structure we was standing, I was never financed.
Yes.
I started with 3,500 rand. That was my pocket money.
Yes.
To do all this here.
Okay.
I was loading my baggie with all this that you see around here. In Kwanduli, I bought an irrigation system. I was doing my own irrigation system. I installed my own irrigation system myself. I didn't hire nobody.
Yes.
So I've got 10 hectares there with as I'm talking, I planted butternut, I planted potatoes, I planted maize.
Yes.
In Kwanduli.
Yes.
As you can see, the chickens around
Yes,
me here.
yes,
I'm doing it's not white broilers, but it's broilers.
Yes.
And also I'm producing eggs on the
Yes.
other hand. Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's all.
Okay, that's great. That's great. You know, I see you are doing a number of things here, and also in what you just mentioned, I like what you said that I'm getting the idea that no one funded you, but you decided to do it on your own. You know, a number of times, especially with young people, they would come and say that I want to start farming, but I don't have funding. You know, and with yourself, I like the fact that you started with what you have, basically. So I want to ask you, since you are doing here animal production as well as crop production, which one would you say maybe it's easiest to start with to maybe sort of encourage someone who's thinking about farming there? Which one would you say maybe it's not that difficult to start with?
Yeah, chickens not, because if you start with crops is very they drink us, if I can call them.
Yes.
They're very labor intensive. You need to have water.
Okay.
You need to have an irrigation system.
Yes.
It's very labor intensive. Start with chickens.
Okay.
And you must start with what you have. Start small.
Yes.
You can't start a business with. I never had somebody start a business with 1 million.
Yes.
Start small. If you've got 500 rand, buy chickens.
Yes.
Even if they're in your garage, start business. Start every
Where you
business.
are.
F&B was a stock fair.
That's true.
Look at F&B now. It was a stock fair. So start with what you have. I started with what I had then here.
Yes. And then you grew from
so
there.
I grew from that, but about 250 chickens.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
Then, but my medium term goal is 10,000 chickens.
Okay.
And then continue and go and go and go and go, because I want to supply people here. Because even chickens here, they're not from here.
Yes.
We buy them from outside of
Yes.
Warkamp.
Yes.
So we found out in December I was running short of chickens. People were wanting chickens.
Yes.
There was no chickens. So I decided to produce chickens so that I can supply in
the
bulk
market. Yes.
the market around us here.
That's great.
Because trucks from Coxted, Panorama, they come and deliver chickens. From Anka Farms in this is Great Oak. Yeah, I think it's Great Oak.
Yes.
They come and deliver chickens.
Chickens, yes.
Nobody is producing enough to supply the
On
market.
the market. So it means that the market is there.
The market is big, bro. The market is big. Let's produce as young people. Young people must wake up and go into farming and produce. Produce something.
Yes. That's
You
great.
can start little. You can start, if you want to start spinach, you can start with just a quarter of an hectare.
Yes, yes.
Then what you can use
The watering cans.
the watering cans
Water. Yes.
until you graduate.
Yes, yes. I like that. I like that. You know, it's so motivating. And he's also emphasizing that you really don't need 50,000 from some institution to start. You can start with what you have. And also, just to add on that, I always say that there's no institution that is going to fund you if you haven't started with what you have, you know. But if you are like he now has a case study to say that I've started this, I've done this. So now it's easy for him to go to an institution to say that, can you please fund me because now I want to grow. He has started something.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. So now, can you please tell us about the daily activities that you do here in the chicken production? What are some of the things that you do here?
You know, I don't believe in hiring people to do things for me.
Yes.
I'm big on self-project management.
Yes.
I do my project management.
Yes.
So that I make sure that these chickens don't die.
Okay.
So in the morning I feed them. I feed them once. I don't feed them all the time. I feed them once a day and I give them water a day, then I leave.
Okay.
And make sure that everything is looking good, as you can see. Then I run to another project where I do farming,
yes,
to check the diseases in there, to spray the crops, just the whole project management. Because yeah, in the morning, I feed them in the morning.
Yes.
Then I go and do some other hustles that I'm doing.
Yes.
Because I also mentor farmers.
Okay. That's
I'm
great.
in I train farmers for free and advise people for free.
That's great.
People who want to do farming. But yeah, this is not a lot of chickens. It's only 200 and something. I feed them myself.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what I do, because I believe in, even if there's somebody that is hired there, casual, because I can't hire now full-time people.
Yes.
Only hire casual, especially young people. I don't hire old people, I hire young people.
Okay.
To inspire them to do what I'm doing.
That's great. That's great. I like that. And also what you just mentioned, you know, I also like the fact that you are so willing to share information with young people, you know. So can you please tell us what's the importance of mentorship in farming?
No, it's very important, because the people that farmed before us, one of the guys got 40 years of farming experience. So you need that person. Whether you are in business, you need a person to mentor who's really has done that before and is making money. Because in farming you must maximize profit. So you need people that are going to mentor, that are in farming. Even as I speak, I've got white guys that are mentoring me. But they're not giving me funding, they're just giving me advice. In the chicken industry for very long. They're producing. There's a guy in Johannesburg who's got about 200 Broilers, 250,000 chickens. I want to go there as well, but I must start where I am now.
Yes.
With the 250, I've got 10,000 medium term goal. Then
you go big.
Then I go big after that. Mentorship is very important. This is very, very important. Otherwise, and also to mention training, you need to be trained.
Yes, yes.
If you're not trained in agriculture, come to those who are trained in agriculture and advise. We have got masters in agriculture. I'm trained.
Yes.
I was doing crop production as well as animal production at university. So it's training. You can come to me. I give away. I want people to farm.
That's great.
They've got few black farmers.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I like that, guys. You know, every time when I hear someone who's going to be so willing to share information, you know, unlike some of the people that we meet sometimes, because sometimes you would see people privating themselves with information that can help a number of young people. So I really like your mindset of wanting more people to come into the space and not even thinking that maybe if they come, they are going to take your market. Because I think that's what some of the people, they sometimes think that if maybe I'm a chicken farmer and then I invite other aspiring chicken farmers to come, someone is going to think that they are going to take from their market. And the market is huge, as you just said. Yes. Okay. Okay. Then you are supplying spar and boxer as well as the market around. Can you please tell us, was it easy when you started? Because a number of times you hear young people saying that I have this crop that I'm producing, or I have these animals that I'm growing, but I don't have market. So for yourself, when you were starting, was it easy to secure that market? Can you please take us through that?
No, market is not easy, quite.
Yes.
So as a business person, the mistake you can make is by starting producing without getting a market.
The market, okay.
You must find a market before you produce. Who you producing? You just produce.
Yes.
You must produce for these chickens. I produce for professionals.
Okay.
For people that are staying in the cities.
Yes.
And I produce them organic. I change what they eat and replace it with food organic that I make myself. Yes. So before you can produce, you must get market. It was not easy, especially in these shops, your chain stores, your boxer, Checkers, they just refused and Pick and Pay. They said they've got their own farms. The only chain store that is helping farmers, especially black farmers, is Boxer, it's
Spar.
It's Spar.
Sparks.
And because I talk and I know people, the Pick and Pay here in Tata, Tata Pick and Pay, not the one southern would Pick and Pay, they do take produce from farmers. But farmers are not consistent. They produce today, tomorrow, they know to be farm. The market is big. Black people are not producing anything. Anything that we eat in Tata is not from these small farmers. It's from Paul Shefty. I was hearing now Pick and Pay saying they order spinach from Port Elizabeth, as far as Port Elizabeth. Look at the transportation cost from there to here. If we were producing here,
they were going
and we consistent, they're going to take from us. But we produce in small corners. Wanda is on that corner, I'm on that corner. We don't know each other. That's why black farmers, we need to
come together.
This thing of jealousy doesn't work. Share knowledge so that we can hit these big markets together. If I don't have chickens, we've got chickens. I won't say I don't have chickens. I'll take from your chickens to supply whatever market that is there is available. So it's not easy. There's still red tape. If the government can help us there, especially the market, 50% from these local people here, the government supports us, then 50% out
from
of
outside. That's great.
So that will help grow and unemployment of young people will cease.
Increase, That's great. That's great. I like everything that you are saying, you know, especially the point that you're saying that young farmers, they really need to come together, you know, not this thing of being in your corner and the other one is on their corner. Another question that I wanted to ask you, I think you've touched on it a bit, is the fact that I've noticed with most of the farmers that I've met with, it's either they are supplying Spar or Boxer. With other shops, your Checkers, Pick and Pay, and others, they're not supplying them. I want to know, why is it like that? I know you've already mentioned the inconsistency part, which maybe the businesses cannot stand for. So what's another factor which makes them to not take from local farmers?
No, mostly it's quality. Because I mean the vegetable farmers group, they always post their pictures there, their crops. It's poor quality, it's mediocre. So you can't expect Checkers, Woolworths to take your vegetable. It's quality. There's no a crop. You need to manage a crop. You need quality. So if there's no quality, then those shops will never take, because what is hitting the farmers mostly is quality. We don't manage our crops, so whatever that you produce, we don't manage. We like nice things. Young people like nice things to go. You see, sometimes I sit here until it's 9 o'clock. That's why you see these chickens, they all fat.
So fresh.
You can see that they are fed properly. I'm doing it myself. I don't go and drink and tell somebody to come in. But it's difficult to enter that market if your quality is good. And the quality and the quantities. We don't have quantities. That's why I've got only 200 chickens. What if 200 customers come and say, I want all the chickens. I only have anything to sell now when they come back again. So that's why I make sure that they go according to the age. But to come back to your question, is quality grow. Checkers won't take mediocre. Pick and Pay won't take mediocre. You need to produce quality. But they do take sometimes. But that market, it's not good for me. The informal market is for me going house to house. If you can hit 200 houses and sell one spinach each house every day, 200 houses, you'll make your money. You'll maximize profit.
That's great. That's great. I like also the fact that you are emphasizing on the importance of informal market, you know, because another thing that I sometimes notice is the fact that people, when they start farming, they are looking for the formal market, your Spar and your Boxer, and they are actually not paying attention to the informal market, you know. And it also reminds me of another farmer. He said that you should not underestimate the power of street vendors they buy, because the number of people they buy from them. That's great. That's great. And also, you studied agriculture. So can you please tell us how was the connection now? I know you were doing maybe a theory in university, but now you were coming to be practical about it. Was there a connection, and how was it? And also another question that I want to ask you: would you encourage young people to first go to university before they can start practicing farming?
Yeah, theory is different. When I graduated, I started working in a farm.
Yes.
It's where I got the experience. So that experience translated to what I'm doing.
Yes.
You need to get a bit of experience, because theory alone. That's why you need a mentor. If you're gonna shoot straight to farming. If you're gonna shoot straight to farming, you need somebody who's gonna mentor you. I'm a practical somebody. If you know that it's very important for you to study agriculture, get training, or get a mentor, somebody who's gonna like me, who's gonna mentor you when you are already started.
Yes.
Because the government also, they've got extension officers that are helping people. But you can, for a guy, let's say a guy of 30 years, you can't go back to university.
Yes.
And do a formal course there. You need to get even it's a 5-day week, 5-week training on vegetable production, on broiler production or chicken production, if you will.
Yes.
But you need training. You need to be trained. You can just take a small course. Sidara, they provide those short courses in crop production, vegetable production. Sidara is a college in Pietermaritzburg, even for the course.
Yes.
You don't have to take the whole degree, 3-year degree to start. Then we here. That's why you must have a mentor. Somebody. I can even train people myself, even though they don't give you a certificate. I'm not accredited.
Yes.
But I can train you. I'm willing to do that. Okay. So I can do those things. So it's very important, but get a little bit of exposure into a farming activity before you can start. Because you can fail dismal. You need training. You need experience. Even if it's 1 year. Or if you don't have experience, talk to us, we can mentor, we can help.
Okay, that's great. And then I want to ask you now, a number of people, especially on the farming groups that I'm part of, I see or get DMs for young students. They say that I'm looking for in-service training. What can you say to those students? I'm sure when you were studying, at some point you had to do your in-service training. How did you approach that? Because I see that I think it's difficult, because I see a number of people are crying and saying that I'm looking for in-service training. I'm not finding a farm. Some people, they can't even graduate because they don't get farms. So what can you say to young people who are looking for in-service training but they are not winning, or what tips maybe you can give them?
No, there's something called volunteerism. You must volunteer, guys. So you can come here in the farm here and volunteer.
Okay.
So when I wanted training, I was not paid. Okay. When I was doing my training, I was doing my training in a crop production farm in Port Elizabeth. I was not paid.
Okay.
So you can ask a person, no, I just want the training, I don't want to get paid. For me, just to graduate. Okay. So agricultural sector, it's not difficult to get training. Besides the Department of Agriculture, you can come here to this small. People are looking for big farms to do their in-service training. Yes. You can come to us here and do training. You can come to me and do training with these chickens and do training on what I'm doing on the other side yes. With vegetables. I can train.
Okay, and then I want to ask you now, did you receive any funding from the government, or maybe any form of assistance that maybe you would say, no, this one is available for young people who want to farm?
No, I never received any. I started with my own pocket money, with my own money. I had about 3,000 rand, 3.5. So I started with that. But the institutions, that can help farmers. There is an organization called Eastern Cape Rural Development Agents that help. They do help young people to apply for, it's called a production loan. You get a loan, even Land Bank can help. But you must be prepared to apply for smaller amounts when you start it. But the majority of young people, they want to apply for 1 million, 2 million to start. You can never start a business with one. No funding institution can give you 1 million to start a business. They give people that already is gone. You can go maybe and apply for 30,000. They can give you 30,000 for you to start. Start with what you have. You can, if you want to start chickens, you can't just apply for a structure. You can. There are a lot of structures that are deserted in the world. You can talk to somebody who's got a structure that was funded by social development and talk to that person and start there. You can start in your garage or in your mother's garage. Mark Shuttleworth started IT company at the back of his parents' yard. So look now, where's that company is. You can start wherever, whenever the institution that can fund. Even as I'm sitting here, I'm preparing a business plan to apply for funding because I want to expand here.
Okay, good. If you know what you just said, it reminds me of someone. It was clear that the person really wanted to start and started chicken farming on his bedroom or on her bedroom, and the picture was circulating online. It was showing that the person really wanted to start and was not focusing on the challenges maybe of saying I don't have a chicken structure or something. Okay, now, and then I want to ask you now, what can you say to young people who say that I want to start, but I don't know where to start? That's also another question that I always get. Someone is going to say that I want to start farming, but I don't know where to start.
Just start. That's what I can say. I want to reiterate and say, guys, as blacks, before you can wander, before you can be funded, start something. It's difficult to go to an institution. It's difficult to go into an institution and say, I have not started anything, and I want you to give me money to start.
Yes.
Start with what you have, then funding will follow.
Yes.
So the problem that we can make as people that want to do farming is when you just fold your arms and say, I've got a business plan, I want to start. Start with what you have. Start small.
Yes.
If it's crop, start small. If it's chickens, start small. Because if you start with 100 chickens. And also, for more information, people need to go to the Department of Agriculture. They do assist a lot. Even institutions, sister institutions that are working with agriculture, like the one that I mentioned, Eastern Cape Rural Development Agents, they can help. They give small loans for people to start, especially agriculture. They do help. Even Land Bank, small loans. But young people want to start big. They want to make money now. Yes. Not in business.
Okay. What some of the lessons would you give to someone who wants to get into farming? Just maybe 3 lessons that you can give to that person.
You must be a person who's persistent. You must be very patient in farming. Don't rush.
Yes.
Persistence. You must be a person who's always motivated. You can be discouraged in farming and stop this thing.
Yes.
This thing is for life. It's a journey.
Yes.
Don't want to make money now. Yes. Just wait. Be patient in farming. A crop takes about 4 months to mature and get harvested. So you can't rush. Even these chickens here, they take 6 weeks.
Yes.
But with the process of medicating them, the process of feeding them, looking after them. So persistence, people must be motivated. You motivate yourself. Don't
yes.
wait for somebody
to motivate
you.
Yes.
And
until you are doing good.
You must normal yourself.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Somebody is not going to say no. You must say, Andile, you're doing well. You're going to do well.
Yes.
Sometimes you need to be a coach, you need to be a mentor, you need to be your own teacher.
That's great. That's great. I like what you just said. Now it reminds me some young farmer. He said that today that you need to have your own internal fires that are going to drive you and motivate you instead of depending on someone else to come and tell you that you are doing good. Yes. And then would you encourage young people to come into agriculture, farming?
Yeah, very good. We've got few black farmers that are farming or semi-commercial. We've got very few. We're not producing anything. You see, around the Eastern Cape, the land is lying fallow. No boat is producing, and young people are not interested to go to farming. Maybe if we can explain to them, farming it's not only livestock and crops. Farming is huge. You can do fish.
Yes.
There's something called marine tilapia that you can just dig your own ponds and put a fish and feed and sell it. So farming space is big, but there's no boat. It's only white people that are really farming.
Yes.
We're not farming as black people, but few farmers that are farming semi-commercially here in the East, especially where I farm in the Eastern Cape.
So now, what are your future aspirations for your farms? What do you want to achieve in the near future?
I want to grow this one here. I want to at least have around 10,000 chickens, 10,000 egg-laying chickens, and 10,000 meat chickens.
Yes.
And also, in my business plan, I've got an agricultural supply that I want to do. But I want to grow this one now and the crop production farm on the other side. At least if you can have about 10,000 of these chickens, meat producing chickens and egg producing chickens, then I'll be fine and employ people. Because young people are not employed. Some, they don't want to farm, they just want jobs.
Yes.
So maybe to grow here or expand here with the help from wherever, maybe the weather is overseas or what was in this. Our government here will put a business plan. They just give people that are sitting.
Yes.
So at least to expand here, bro, 10,000 chickens, meat, and 10,000 eggs to produce more eggs and produce more meat. Sort of like slaughtering my own chickens, selling them. What I call agro-processing.
Yes.
And slaughter it and sell it slaughtered.
Okay.
Not as a primary production like I'm doing now.
Okay. Great.
The only thing that I need now from the government is funding.
Yes.
Fund black people so that we can employ the people that the government is giving grants. So that we save you from giving people grants by employing them here. But subsidize up, help us. We have started already with what we had.
Yes.
3,500 what we had. I've got machines in the farm, irrigation system.
Yes.
So I'm watering my plants with that, my crops with that. But we need funding from the government. We really need funding. We've got skills.
Yes.
If you audit my skill, I can give you certificates.
Yes. Then
give me funding to expand these things so that I can employ young people.
That's
maybe
great.
Train. But my other future goal is to be a consultant, to open my own mini college, agri-college, where I'm going to train, an accredited college.
Yes.
Because Solo is dying. The college that was training young people in agriculture.
Yes.
So we need now that's why I want to do PhD, so that you can recognize me more.
Yes.
And give me money and trust me more because I've got skills.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
That's great. And then what can you say to someone? I know there's a lot of young people who are sitting at home, as you already stated. What can you say to those people? Some of them, they graduated from universities, but they're not finding employment. What can you say? What can be your words of encouragement to those people?
No, yesterday there's a guy who came to me, because they know me, so I talk about farming. He came to me and said, he's graduated, he's done animal production.
Yes.
I asked him a question, do you have land? He said, I've got land. Said, so what do you want to do? Do you want to do chickens or do you want to do sheep or piggery? He said, no, he wants to do pigs. So I said, let's meet. We're gonna be meeting this week.
Yes.
Because you can't be looking for a job if you are graduated with agriculture.
Yes.
Go look for funding to start an enterprise, to
Yes.
start a farming, even if you start small. And let me emphasize this thing. Start small. If it's pigs, you can start with 10 pigs.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm going to be helping that guy. There's a funding that we're going to look so that we can help each other.
Yes.
So young people, I don't know whether I've got a WhatsApp group for people that are graduates in agriculture. It would be good if we can have people that are graduates in agriculture. Because even in the projects that we do, we need people that are graduates,
Yes.
that we can help.
Yes. That's great. That's great. And then I want to ask you a more like a government question now. It's relating to the passive vouchers. I know that government was issuing passive vouchers, and we've heard that some people who are not even practicing farming, they received those vouchers, while people who are actually doing farming, they didn't receive those vouchers. What can you comment on that?
Yeah, I think that the government systems are very poor. Because we found out people that are not farming. I was called by a lady who had that passive voucher. She wanted to buy feed for me.
Yes.
But as a person who's farming, I never got no passive. But somebody who's far from farming, who's working for a shop somewhere, who's far, who never farm, is not dreaming of farming. But he got the passive. The government systems are very poor.
Okay.
And also, black farmers are not subsidized.
Yes.
They will tell you, you must craft a business plan, send it to that house or to that office. You'll never get no funding. There's no funding. Even this passive voucher,
yes.
I never got. It was given to people that are not farming.
Farming.
So the lady wanted to sell, wanted to buy that feed for me for
and
my chickens.
Someone else.
Then I give her money.
Okay.
So the system is, it's a lot of loopholes, but it's very weak system of government. Because they do have a database, farmers database, but
yes.
I don't know what
they
just, everybody must apply.
Yes.
Even non-farmers do apply, and they get the money. The system, in America, farmers are producing for the state.
Yes.
Then they get subsidy from the state. It's even where I do crops, I struggle for a tractor. I struggle. Last year, I struggled. I was wanting to plant maize. I struggled because I don't have my own tractor.
Yes.
If the government can give us tools or tools of trade, just give us tools.
Yes.
Even if you don't give us money,
yes.
Give me a tractor. Don't give me money if you don't want to give me money. Because feed I can buy for myself.
Yes.
Seedlings I can buy for myself. Fertilizer I can buy for myself. Give me the thing that I cannot buy for myself, such as a tractor.
Mechanization.
And mechanization. Chickens I can buy for myself.
Yes.
But a structure for the chickens I cannot buy is expensive. So even now if I want to expand, I need to save money from the small things that I'm doing here to expand, to build myself a structure where I can expand.
That's great. That's great. What can you say about the relationship between entrepreneurship and agriculture? I know some farmers, they sort of separate the two, and I always say that these things, they go hand in hand, because you are a farmer and then you are an entrepreneur. If you can't sell, you are not going to be a good farmer, because you're going to have produce that you can't sell. So how do you see the relationship between entrepreneurship and agriculture?
You know agriculture, I've studied agriculture. Agriculture is technical.
Yes, yes.
They train me how to produce a chicken, how to feed the chicken,
yes.
How to look after chicken. Then that is another training.
Yes.
So you need training now, business management training.
Yes.
You need marketing.
Yes.
Because how are you gonna market your what you produce if you're not trained in marketing?
Yes.
How are you gonna run the business if you're not trained in business management? I'm training in even if it's a small course.
Yes.
In business management and also marketing.
Yes.
As a person who's running a business, you need to be on par with what is happening in the world. You need to read. Instead of buying a drum magazine, buy a marketing. I've got a book here that I'm reading, Guru Sales.
Okay.
Where you hear about people that are selling,
Yes.
and so that you can acquire skills
Yes, from
of marketing what you're producing. Because this notion of us black farmers, always the fact that you studied agriculture, you think you can run a farm. You need business side and
Yes.
marketing side.
Yes.
So you're gonna fail if you don't have the training in business management. Even though you've got the skill, you're not going to be able to sell what you produce.
Yes.
What you produce, because you must be like this. You must expand
Yes.
in your thinking and in your knowledge.
That's great. That's great. And then, can you please tell us about an event or a book or maybe a movie or a person who had a positive impact in your life?
No. It's my mother.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to mention somebody who's on TV.
Yes.
Yes, we do see Ovusi Tembekwayo
Yes.
running successful business, and we want to be like them.
Yes.
But the person that motivated me, and that's why I'm doing this here, is my mother, who was always encouraging me. And also, if you're in business, you must copy, or you must copy from other people that are successful in doing the line of business that you
want to get into.
Yeah, there's a guy though he's a white guy, Jenkins in Coxter, is running something like this.
Yes.
A chicken farm. I do go visit him and I get inspiration. I don't want to look at small things, because I must look at something that is big.
Yes.
To be inspired. I can't be looking at. I can't invite somebody who wants to start a big commercial farm and say, come here, come and see what I'm doing here.
Yes.
You need to take that person to a person who's been around in farming industry years and years producing chickens. So my mother was my role model. Is the one that other business people that are doing their business, especially the old Bali, the old Baungumbe.
Yes.
He started very small. I used to visit where he's doing, where he's got a shop most in Aidutya. I visit those kinds of people. I visit farms, big farms. Sometimes drive to Yuki to see people that are doing big things. That's what inspires me.
That's great. That's great. And then lastly, can you please tell us where can we find, if there's maybe someone wants to connect with you and maybe find out more about what you're doing, where can such a person find you? You can tell us about your address, maybe your social media networks. Yes.
On Facebook, just search Andile on Facebook. Then my Twitter account, even though I forgot my Twitter account, maybe I forgot it. Then you can also my cell phone, WhatsApp cell phone is 0733 598 171. You can find me on WhatsApp. I'm also in the vegetable farmers groups. You can find me anywhere, even on Twitter. I don't know on Twitter whether you can search Andile Ndaba. Then you're gonna find me there, but I'm not in Instagram. I'm still gonna register.
Okay, that's the end. Please make sure you comment and like the video if you like what you are talking about, and please just share the video. Mr. Ndaba, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to come here. Yeah, and I'm really inspired and motivated by what you're doing here. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. When I come here, I know that in the next 5 years you will be having above 20,000 chickens. Yes. And you will be rich. Yes. I can't wait for that. Thank you so much.